Y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do something a little bit different, and I am going to give you a one brand review for all of the products I have in my skincare and makeup collection from Dior Beauty. I'm also going to be telling you as I go through the products if it's worth it or if it's not worth it. If you're ready for a brutally honest review, let's jump right in. Here I have the Dior Oil-Balm Cleanser, and are you ready for how much this thing cost? I don't think you are. It is $146 here in Canada. And I'm trying to think of an eloquent way to describe it, but there's no better way to describe it than I don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't matter if you use a little bit, it doesn't matter if you use a lot. It doesn't matter if you apply it on dry skin, if you apply it on damp skin. It doesn't matter how I've personally used it. It doesn't remove my makeup, it doesn't remove sunscreen, and it can burn the eyes. So, save $146 and skip this. Up next, we have the Dior Prestige Sugar Scrub, $160 here in Canada. Is it worth it? For me, no. Plain and simple, no. It has a very, very kind of gritty sugar texture within the scrub. For me, with my face, I do have rosacea. And sometimes I can use a manual exfoliant. I tend to use it once, maybe twice a month when my skin needs a little bit of a boost. I'm doing my at-home facial routine. But for this one, it's very, very aggressive, and I currently use it on my body as a body scrub. Do you need to spend $160 for a body scrub? No. Will I repurchase it? No. Feisty. The Dior Prestige Le Mousse Cleanser. This one retails for $130 here in Canada. I really, really, really like this product. It's expensive. It's $130 for a facial cleanser. It has a really beautiful, lightweight, moussey, whipped texture. The scent reminds me of Rose Turkish Delight, and that's one thing to note. All of the Dior Prestige products do have that kind of signature Dior scent. If you're familiar with the scent of Miss Dior, it reminds me of that. So you need to be a fan of the scent or else you're not gonna enjoy these. The cleansers don't really bother me. They're on my face for about 60 seconds, then I rinse them off. I personally find the intensity of the scent in this fragrance to be quite light, and it's really, really pleasant. If I use this cleanser every single day, I can get irritated, so I use this once or twice a week, or when I want a little bit of extra TLC in my evening cleansing routine. So I love this. Second bottle. So if you want to spend $130 here in Canada for a cleanser, then it's got my seal of approval. It's fabulous. I have the Dior Prestige Le Nectar. Now this is more of like, for me, I kind of treat this as like a lightweight serum, almost like a kind of watery first treatment essence. This is a deluxe sample size that the sales associate at my local Nordstrom gave me for a transaction. And while this is a really nice product, I don't feel like it warrants its price tag of $505. It's nice, it's not worth $505. That's all I've got. So all of my pricing, I am pulling off the Canadian Holt Renfrew website. For anyone not in Canada, Holt Renfrew is like a luxury retailer where you can find all the like high-end brands. So normally for higher end beauty products, I'll shop there or Nordstrom. Dior Prestige Eye Serum is my second tube. So I clearly love it if this is my second, and it is a really beautiful eye serum. Any makeup you apply on top of this, it goes on so smoothly. It adds a nice lightweight, hydrating kind of plumpness to the skin, but it's $269, and I love it. I don't feel like it's leaving my routine anytime soon. So it does have fragrance. If you're sensitive to fragrance, I don't feel like any of the Dior skincare is gonna work for you. For me, I don't mind a little fragrance here and there in my routine, so I'm gonna keep with it. Up next, we have the Dior Hydra Life Cooling Eye Serum. This one is $70, a lot more affordable compared to the Dior Prestige pricing. This one I really enjoy. I tend to use this more in the morning because it does layer well under makeup It has a little bit of like a cooling, mentholated kind of sensation to it. For me, I can't use it every single day. This is another one I use 2-3 times a week. If I use it more than that, I can get really sensitive and I can get a little bit of a dermatitis breakout. So since that does happen with this one, I personally won't be repurchasing this one. However, it's really nice. If that doesn't bother you, I think this is a really, really nice, lightweight under eye hydrator. And it has this nice like little applicator. And even though this is plastic, I keep this in my skincare fridge. So that way it gives you a little bit more of like a cooling sensation when you apply it in the mornings. Next one I have is another sample size, and this is the Dior Prestige Le Crème, and this is the Essential texture. I really enjoy the texture and the feeling that this has as it applies. However, every time I have used this, I do get red. I feel like my skin kind of flares up, and it's just, my skin personally doesn't tolerate this well. I liked how this does under makeup. I like how it does on its own at night. But for me, since it does cause irritation, I will not be purchasing this one just because it causes irritation. It breaks my heart because it's a really beautiful texture, but I can't recommend something that causes irritation like that for me. The full size of Little Crème retails for $470 here in Canada. Extra Plumping Soothing Balm Mask by Dior. For me, this is like a drink of water for the skin. This one retails for $82 here in Canada, and this is my second container, so love it. I feel like it's gonna stay in my routine for a while. What type of review would it be if I don't have a sunscreen? We have the Dior Capture Total Dreamskin Cushion Compact with SPF 50+. It's refillable, so here's the refill. Before this, I was using shade 000, which is the untinted. That was just in my recent empties video. And that one is really nice. However, if you apply the adequate amount for the SPF 50 label on the container, you will get kind of like a brightening or tone up effect where it does kind of leave a cast to the skin. That's why I'm currently using shade 010 because this is more like a tinted SPF. I can use it on its own to give a little bit of coverage, or I can reapply over makeup, and it's just great. It's a keep in my bag on the go touch-up SPF product that I love. This one retails for $98. But remember, for that $98, you do get a refill with the initial compact purchase. Dior AirFlash Foundation. This is a kind of classic makeup artist staple aerosol foundation that you can spray onto a sponge or on a brush, and it applies. This is what I have on today. When I was a freelance makeup artist, this was my go-to foundation when I was doing bridal clients because it looks so beautiful on the skin. For me, I have shades 100 and 200 neutral. For 100, it's kind of like my all over shade, and I use 200 to add a little bit of dimension around the perimeter of my face. These are great. They retail for $78 a piece here in Canada, and if you want to splurge on a really beautiful foundation, this is a great one to have. I love it, and I cannot recommend it enough. For Backstage Face and Body Foundations, I cannot find a shade match. The very first shade I tried as a sample was 0N, way too light. Purchased 1N, way orange, like super, super orange. I purchased 1.5N, and this is a fabulous like tone match. It's great. However, it's a little too dark. Most recent shade I added to my collection was 0CR. 0CR, it has a nice kind of pinky undertone that does well with kind of balancing out that kind of median shade between my face and my body. However, this is too light. So for me to get my best match, it tends to be equal parts of 0CR and 1.5N. So I mix these two together. They give me a great shade match, and I just kind of, like I said, mix them 50-50 on the back of my hand or on a foundation palette, apply it with a sponge or the Dior kind of fluffy foundation brush, which I forgot to grab my brushes. Anyway, I'll throw those in another video. Their brushes are really nice. They're more of a luxury price. Some of them are synthetic, some of them are natural hair. If you want to try them. They're great. If not, you're not missing out. I really like this foundation. I don't like that I have to mix shades to get a perfect match. The Dior AirFlash. Yes, I have two shades, but I have two shades because it's a great formula, and I have a shade that matches well on its own. However, the second shade I have just to add more dimension to the skin when I want a really nice kind of like seamless, natural look on the skin. With this one, I wish I had one shade that matched because I don't use it enough to warrant and now having 3 bottles, and this one retails for $50, and you can find it at Sephora here in Canada. Dior Forever Skin Correcting Concealer, I have shade 1 in. This is phenomenal. Have it under my eyes today. It is such a good concealer, and you get so much product. This retails for $46. I'm looking over to the side because I have my laptop here so I can have all of my pricing information. Comes in a great shade. It comes in a great range of shades. It looks like skin. It gives coverage. It's not drying. It doesn't crease. It doesn't crack. It just looks really good all day long, and I cannot recommend this concealer enough. If you want to try a concealer, you don't mind spending more of a premium price, I think this is a really good one, and the container will last you for a while. So A+, A++. Or Backstage, kind of face and body, no powder. I have shade 0 in. For me, this powder does oxidize when a step down, and it gives me a great shade match when it oxidizes. However, I'm having to scrape it off so you can see here, and even though I scrape it, it's still getting hard pan. And you've seen me in other tutorials, between when I take a brush from my face to the compact, I always wipe it off on a tissue or a microfiber towel. But this one just hits hard pan, and I'm constantly scraping it off. So I'm gonna go through this very quickly, and for, what is it, $50? Yeah, for $50, there's powders I like a lot more than this one. So I'm gonna finish this, but I won't repurchase it. Or Forever Natural Bronzer. I have the lightest shade that we have here in Canada, which is 05 Warm Bronze. Even in other parts of the world, shades 1 through 4 are available. So maybe if they come to North America, I will try them in the future. But right now, 05 is really beautiful. So it looks really dark. However, I do have this on kind of like cheeks, forehead. It's a very blendable formula. You can really sheer it out. You can really layer it up. I also used it kind of in the outer corner of my eye as well as my lower lash line. I really enjoy this formula. It's nice. It does have a little bit of a scent. This retails for $58. So it is a pricey bronzer. However, I really love it. And compared to some of the other higher end bronzers I've tried lately, like the ones from Gucci or the ones from Guerlain, this is really a standout for me in comparison to those. So if I could have the Gucci Fair Bronzer in this formula, home run, like I would never need another bronzer again. But for now, I've got both. I'm gonna use both, and this particular shade, it's workable. I wouldn't mind to have a lighter one though. So I like this. If a shade matches you, I definitely say try it. And can we talk about the packaging? Look at this. It's got this beautiful kind of like quilted faux leather packaging that's very reminiscent of some of the classic Dior like leather goods. I used this in a video recently. I don't remember which video it was. I think it was my Huda Beauty short where I used her Glowish. And this is the Dior Flash Luminizer Radiance Boosting Pen, and I have shade 001 Pink. And it's a classic kind of like YSL Touche Éclat. It's a liquid highlight. For me, this almost works better as like a color corrector. So you can see it has a little bit of a light reflect to it, but it's got more of like a color correcting texture and property to it. So I use this here and there, more so in like the outer corner. Occasionally, I'll put a tiny bit right here, but for cheek highlighting, it's not my favorite. It's a nice formula, but if I'm gonna use something like that for highlighting or even color correcting, I would personally go for the classic YSL Touche Éclat or the Clinique Airbrush Concealer. Those are really, really wonderful. Rouge Blush in the shade number 219 Rose Montaigne, and this one retails for $55. I have it on today. It's a very kind of buildable formula. I've said it in another video, but this color specifically reminds me of NARS Orgasm, but it's a slightly more elegant formula. It has that light reflex to it, but it doesn't appear glittery or shimmery on the skin. This one, I'm starting to wear it through the logo, so when I run through this one, I will get another one because it's a stunning, stunning color. New Dior 5-color Quint, and I have the shade 649 Nude Dress. I was such a big fan of the previous iteration of these palettes that when these came out, I was really excited to give them a go. This was the closest to the, I think it was called Undressed palette that I had from the previous range. but the formula is different. I find like this one, you can see, like I've only used it a handful of times and it already looks really grubby. It's an interesting palette because it is a very beautiful palette. I like the color story. For me, this kind of peachy color in the middle kind of disappears into my skin tone, which is great for blending out harsh edges, but I don't know if it warrants the $72 price tag. For me, I rather have the previous formula because I like that a little bit better than this one. But if there's a color story that you like or you personally like this formula, check them out at your local Dior counter. Let's forget about this. This is one of the Dior Backstage Face Glow palettes. So this is shade 004 Rose Gold. I do have my finger here because ever since I received this palette in the mail, this one right here is not properly glued in, so it will fall out. I really, really love this color family. Like these apply so well. I have a mix of all of them on, and I've even taken the shades individually. So I have the more pinky color kind of right through here under where I applied my blush. I have the peachy shade kind of right through here. I have the gold shade kind of pop through here. And I have this light peachy color on the inner corner and over my eyelid. I really love this palette. It does say it was limited edition on the Sephora website. However, you can still find it readily available on Dior's website. So really, really love this. And this is 004 Rose Gold, and it is $55. Universal Brow Styler, I have 001 Universal Brown and 002 Universal Dark Brown. I like them, they're a nice pencil. I don't know why, just over the last few years, I've really come to really dislike using brow pencils. I rather use like a tinted brow gel or even a brow powder. These are nice because they do have like a smaller nib. However, I do like really, really small nibs when I am going to use a brow pencil. I've really been loving the Huda Beauty Balm Brows Pencil. It's such a tiny, tiny pencil, but these are really nice. So if you like the consistency, you like the size of the nib, really, I would suggest checking these out. Hell, for $38 a piece here in Canada. Pump and Brow in the shade Blonde. I don't know if this is being discontinued. Very, very small applicator, and I don't know if it will pick up on camera or not. It kind of has this like fuzzy consistency, which it does kind of add like a fibery texture to the brow. So it's really nice for helping pump up the brows. This whole like squeezing mechanism, I don't really get what it's doing. So for $36, there's other tinted brow products I like more than this one. So if you like a fiber brow gel, I'm still a big fan of the Benefit Gimme Brow or the Glossier Boy Brow. So I would skip on this one. Two different Dior lip pencils. The first one I have is in shade 619 Greige. So Greige. 532 Jungle Brown. So Greige is the lighter one, Jungle Brown is the darker color. Jungle Brown I don't use very often. I tend to use Greige a little bit more often, so I'll throw that on real quick. They're nice. They do have a slightly drier, more waxy formula compared to something like the Pat McGrath or the Charlotte Tilbury lip pencils. A color that you really enjoy, then go for it because you might really, really like them. And some of their colors are quite unique. We have a staple from Dior. I'm only showing you one. I have a few different shades in this, but this is the classic kind of like Dior lip glow. The shade that I have here is the shade Rosewood. I feel like this newer formula has a little bit more of a minty, tingling sensation, which it's nice. It dissipates very quickly. It doesn't feel like a lip plumper, but it just kind of has a nice kind of like invigorating kind of taste to it. And I really like these. The classic pink one, I have been through 5 or 6 of them over the years. They are great. It just adds a nice burst of color. It's a very different color on everyone. So if you're someone who has naturally really pigmented lips, it might pull quite a bright pink. So I'm gonna play with it and see what it does on you and your specific, as they say, lip pH. One, Rosewood is my new favorite because it pulls a little bit more of like a rosy kind of brown tone versus a hot pink. 2 of the new Rouge Dior refillable lipsticks. So the first one I have is a satin formula, and this is number 219, Rose Montaigne. Rose Montaigne. I love this shade so, so much. It is the, I guess it would be the complementary lipstick to the blush shade. So that's personally why I bought it, and I lucked out because it's a beautiful kind of my lips but better color for me. And then the other shade I have is number 505 matte formula called Sensual. So there is Sensual in the matte formula. To finish things off, I do have a few gloss products. The first one I've used several times on my channel. This is the classic Dior Lip Maximizer. This is Dior's Lip Plumper. I love it. I've been through numerous tubes. This was the very first Dior beauty product I ever purchased. I believe I purchased this back in like 2013 or 14. I love this, can't be without it. We'll continue to repurchase, and this is the classic 001 pink color. It doesn't really have much of color to it, so love this, we'll keep using it. The Dior Stellar glosses, I have shade 354 and then number 721. They're nice, they offer a little bit more pigment, so shade 354, you can barely see it, shows up on my hand. And then this one is 721, there's 721. It's a nice gloss formula. It has a little bit more body to it than some other ones. You know what, let's take 721, the darker shade, and apply it over the Sensual matte lip. Something about it reminds me of like chocolate, like the way it tastes. I use Jungle Brown. There is a mix of a few Dior products. So we have 005 Sensual, it's a matte formula, Jungle Brown lip pencil, 721 in the Stellar gloss. This review was helpful. If I forgot the price of anything, which I'm sure I did, I will have everything linked on my website, so you just head over to check that out. I'll have the link for that in the description box down below. If there's any other brands you want to see a dedicated review for, please let me know. If you found this enjoyable, give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So I will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.